I hope you enjoyed the lovely music there. Time na money. Yes, so time na money. But let me ask you this question and please answer me sincerely. How many of you actually know how to keep to time? How many of you know how to say, okay, when I'm going to a place by 10 o'clock, I will be there latest 9:30 or even 9 o'clock? Well, many of us are guilty of these. You and I know what I'm talking about. Now we have someone in the studio here who will be talking about time management. How true is this? In fact, it has been tagged African time simply because some people are of the belief that Africans don't keep to time. Well, how true is this? I'm not going to answer this question. We have someone here in the studio who will be answering all our questions. Please join me as I make welcome Richard Agbonifo. He is the president and founder, Richard Agbonifo Hand to Hand Foundation here in Nigeria.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
Richard, you're welcome to the show
Thank
this
you for
morning.
having me.
Good
Thank
to
you.
have
Thank you for coming around.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
All right.
Thank you. So, yes, we're talking about time management. But
Yes.
before we talk about time management, you have a foundation, Hand to Hand Foundation.
Yes.
Briefly tell us about that.
Okay.
Yeah, my foundation was founded, I founded this foundation in Germany and also in Nigeria to help kids who are less privileged in Nigeria to go to school. We give them scholarship and also help them to excel in sports. We also help different sports teams, kids in sport, handball, volleyball, basketball, not basketball, yeah, but talk of handball, boxing, and track and field. So we try to help them with sports shoes, jerseys, training kits for them to be able to do their training. And we also help them with transportation to go to training. And we sponsor their competitions and also organize competitions ourselves to keep them generally also always in training, because that's the only way we can compete with other countries, other people, because we are regularly training. So that is one aspect of it, the sport aspect, and the other aspect is the education aspect. We give scholarships. Right now we have 20 kids in our scholarship program.
Wow.
We started with 3,
Okay.
and now we have 20, almost 18. And we have also so many kids in our list, in our waiting list, because we can only admit kids. The more donations we have, the more kids we can admit into our program. So that is what we generally do in Richard Agbonifo Hand to Hand Foundation. And the last point is we fight against child labor, child neglect, and also hawking. So hawking is something that it's in our culture already. Of course, people can hawk. Almost everybody has done it once or twice. But when we see child hawking during school hours, we try to stop that and try to help their parents and see what we can do for them.
Great job you're doing there. Now, all of these that you've mentioned that you're doing, I know there is a story behind it. What was the inspiration behind all of these?
Yeah, because the thing is that for me also, it was really difficult doing sports at a young age. My mother wanted me to go to school, not to do sports. She wanted to, for a good reason also, so I should have good grades. Because I was just thinking about sports.
Typical of all parents.
Exactly. So I said, okay, fine. Even my coach came one day to beg my mother to let me go and play handball.
Okay.
And also I did not have the financial support to go to training, but I was also trekking to training. But in that case, I was also lucky that many parents who don't even let their children do sports at all. So after 5 years ago, after we got our daughter, I'm married, we have a daughter, and then I came to Nigeria, and I saw the children on the streets, hawking, doing different things. I think it was just a click for me. You know, after I said to myself, how can I imagine my daughter doing these things? Well, I know there's hardship in this country, and most people cannot afford it or to get workers to sell their stuff for them, and they have to let their children do this thing. But at a very, very young age, it's still very, very bad. So if they go to school and after school they go and hawk, it's something that I could a little bit accept, but it's still bad. But I think here we need the government to assist in that area to say, okay, what can we do for the parents? What can we do for the children? Reduce the school fees, maybe? I don't know. Something has to be done.
I'll make it free.
I'll make it free. It's true. They have to make it, in most countries, education is free.
Yeah.
It is part of, it is the right of every person to be educated, at least to the secondary level. So I said, okay, fine. Since it's not been done by the government, then because I have a lot of private schools, and private schools are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let us try and just support these kids. And, when I see kids hawking, buying things from them, I just imagine my own child doing that. Especially in this hot sun in this country.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to do that too.
Yeah.
And thank God he came to Nigeria,
thank
because
God you are
if he
here.
did not come, you
Yes.
would have seen that child that was hawking, let alone having it in mind
Yes.
to even want to assist. So
Exactly.
thank you for heeding to the call.
Yeah.
Because that was a calling, and
It's
then
a
you
divine call.
call
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
and you heeded. So thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
before we start our time management, how do you source your kids? Because you say you have some children on the waiting list.
Yes.
How do you source?
How we find them?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the way we started in the beginning was our scholarship secretary just went to the streets, drove around and looked for kids.
Randomly.
Randomly.
It's a very good
We just pick them randomly and then we talk to the parents.
So is it only here in Abuja or
Right now we are in
over
Abuja.
Nigeria?
We have some kids who are in Imo State and other states. We are trying to just go deeper into the different local governments of Abuja. Because in Abuja city, of course, everybody needs help, but you talk about these villages in Abuja, we want to try and get those ones first. And then, of course, when we have requests from other states, we do it. Right now we have two or three children from different states, from Imo State and Edo State.
Different states, can we request?
Okay, so let's shoot. Straight to time management.
Yes.
Time management. This can never be overemphasized. Now, people feel we don't keep to time. Okay, no, not me. I definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, of course.
But some Nigerians don't keep to time. Even if you wake them up early, like 2 hours before the time, they will still be late. They will still be sluggish. Do you think it's a problem? Now they've tagged it African time. What is your take on that? And do you think it's affecting our productivity?
It affects 100%. The problem with us in Nigeria that we always feel we have enough time. Instead of us to just get ready and just do, I still have time. At the end, we now start rushing.
Yes.
That is our nature. We always think there's still time to do something, and we just start. Instead of us to just take your time, sometimes they say, I have a lot of appointments. No. If you have 5 appointments, pick the most important 2 of them and get those 2 done. Anything that is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So you just pick your time and do it, and you do it well. And the thing is that when we keep to time, we have self-respect, not just for us, but for the person we are meeting, for the project you have. You keep to time, and there's a dignity behind it. And when you do that, people want to come back to you again because you have that reputation of keeping to time. Not everybody can keep to time. Sometimes I have had an appointment, the person don't show up at all. The person says, because we are used to making excuses. We are very, very good at excuses. We make excuses, and before you even pick up the phone and say, why didn't you come? All the excuses.
But some of these excuses are genuine excuses,
Every excuse is genuine.
But I also agree with you that at least pick up the phone, and put a call through, and say, okay, this is the reason why I'll be running a bit late, or this is the reason why I cannot make it. Okay, so let's talk about the interval. Okay, you have an appointment, a very urgent appointment.
Yes.
At what point do you now pick up the phone to say, I cannot make it?
The point when you know that, first of all, when you see that you are leaving the house late, for example, and you know what time it takes you to get there, pick up the phone and say, I'm leaving the house now. Be honest about it, I'm leaving the house now. The person will know. Like, don't be in the shower and say, I'm on my way.
Deborah, hope you're listening.
Hope we are learning. We are learning. All right. I think you have answered the question, right?
We're in the shower.
Or lying down on your bed.
Exactly.
You've not done any preparation.
You're still in Kuje, you're telling them that you're in the one.
Yeah, I'm at the junction. I'm right there now. I don't want to put my team members, because I have great team members here in Nigeria and in Germany. Okay. We had a meeting, one of our first meetings, and I was waiting. I had a car hire.
Okay.
The car hire was just there per hour. So I said, okay, we're leaving at 10 o'clock. Okay, I was waiting for them. They didn't come at 10 o'clock, they were not there. And I called, where are you? We're almost there now. They came at 11 o'clock. He came in and he was showing me his hand that he changed the tire of his car. I said, I understand. But why didn't you tell me?
Wow.
Exactly.
That's all I needed. Tell me, then I'll just go and tell the car, I don't need you now.
Yes.
We'll start another time. But I keep it for 2 hours. I paid 2 hours for car hire for nothing. And these are the things. I had to use the example, okay?
Yes.
But he's very time conscious now, because everybody around me now know that I'm very, very time conscious. So that at least it is how do you say it?
You've trained someone to be time conscious.
They are getting used to it now. So
Okay.
that positive energy, people are doing it, and if it's like paying it forward.
Okay.
If I keep to time, the next person keeps to time, everybody starts keeping to time.
Okay. Then
Exactly.
do we have
know.
another time different in this zone that we are referring to as an African time?
No, you know what they call it?
Simply just a
You know the bad thing about it? They will call it black man time. They use the word African because we're trying to be politically correct. Because they know it's black men, black people that do this. I don't know why we do this. I don't know why we feel we don't have to keep to time, because this is what is holding us back. People don't want to do business with us. Believe me, it's not because we don't have good business. We have everything in Nigeria, but nobody wants to do business with us because we are not true to what we say. We don't say what we mean. And that is something that has to trickle down from the top. Okay. From the governors, from the ministers, from whoever, from the businesses we are doing, the orgas up there.
And I think from family as well, we have to inculcate that.
Personally, I think it's a mindset.
Yes,
it's a mindset.
As a habit into our children, so that they grow with that. And as they grow, they go into society. There won't be anything like African.
That's if you start showing good example.
Pay it forward. You be the example.
Yes.
I said we had our AGM meeting, on Saturday, and it's supposed to start by 10 o'clock. I was there by 9.
Wow.
To get things ready and get things done and get everything done. And everybody 2 years ago, when we did our first meeting, they all came an hour, 2 hours late. But this time, they all came punctually because they know I don't like being late. And this is something that, like we said...
And you've set the rules.
I set the rule for me. I'm not forcing you, but I'm just saying I can only work with people who are punctual. If you're not punctual, no matter how good you are, I will not work with you. Because I don't need that. Because everybody has... I come to Nigeria maybe with 1 or 2 weeks. I plan my time because I don't have enough time. So I have to plan this time. So if you don't meet to that criteria, then I'll say, okay, stay aside. Let me finish what I'm doing. And at the end, maybe I might not work with you. I'll work with somebody else. So it's a mentality that we have to change. There's nothing profitable for me to try and deceive somebody. It's only African time. Like I said before, the only way we can curb African time is being honest with the person and with yourself.
Let's say you find yourself in Nigeria and you find yourself at the top, and then you have opportunity to do something differently.
Yes.
Especially with regards to time management.
Yes.
What would you do differently? Because already some of us believe that it's a mindset thing.
Yes. But it's also training. It's also training.
And then you can change.
Yes.
You can improve on it.
Yes.
What do you think you'll do differently? Do you think we should go to schools and start training from there? From the home?
Yes.
So what would you do differently?
From everywhere. Like you said, from the schools, definitely in every school it had to be put there. We already have that in schools, not coming late until most children go to school
on time.
Punctually. Very few. But I would say we had war against indiscipline one time.
Yeah.
Where
Were you born there?
Were you born there?
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Did you see the reaction on my face?
I don't know.
I know, the older generation.
Why? Yeah, we the older generation. Yes, you're right.
Did. So it was once every month. At the end of every month, Nigeria was a standstill. There was no business working. The last Saturday of every month, there was nothing. If you were seen on the streets at the time, you were arrested.
Yes.
And that was the time where every house was clean. Every house was clean. Even if you didn't feel like cleaning, you sit down and say, I have to go out now, but I cannot go out. Why can't you go out? Because everybody's cleaning. Then you now say, you know what? Let me clean.
And you definitely see something to clean in your
house. And you find something to clean. And every compound was clean. Our compound was it was a competition. Everybody, I don't even know why. I don't remember why they stopped it. Because it was a time of everybody came together. For one project.
Establishing unity.
Unity. And we can also do that with this war against African time, where everybody will say, okay, this is how we are doing. And the bosses, banks, companies, and will say, everybody has to come punctually. Everybody would only come punctually. There's a jar there. There's a jar. If you come late, there's somebody there, put 1,000 naira inside.
Correct.
Wow.
Everybody.
Make money for organization.
We do it. We do it at the end of, everybody put money at the end of it. We can do an end of year party for everybody, but at least you pay into that jar.
Some persons will tell you, I'm going to drop that money because I know I'm going to be late.
Exactly. Some people just, you know what?
Advance,
Yes, 5,000 naira. I'll come this week 5 times late.
So how do you handle such a person?
So that's it. No, the thing is this. At least the person will be time
Time
conscious.
conscious.
It starts from
With
there.
time, yeah,
It starts
gradually.
from being conscious about it.
Okay, as we
It-
talk about time
you know,
management, let's manage our time with this interview. As
Yeah.
We have to.
time has gone.
I
so,
know, unfortunately, I
before
know.
we go, you are going to add a lot of advice
Yes.
to what you've started already, so that we
Yes.
can round up and go.
Yes. So my advice is it should start from the top. We should start a collective campaign against this. I hope our leaders are listening to it and they will follow suit and set an example. And whatever we are doing with this time management, it's not just about keeping time. It has a lot to do with dignity. It has a lot to do with contrast. That's to do with working with people outside of Nigeria. Nigeria is stagnant. We are not moving. We have to move with the flow. We have to move with the rest of the world and not just be backward. We are a beacon of Africa. And everybody is looking towards us to show example. Let us be the example of Africa and just change that African time to something, from something negative to something positive. So what I want to say, African time means coming early. And we can do it. It's possible.
Yes, we
It's
can do
possible.
it. Thank
We
you so
can
much,
do it.
Mr.
Thank-
Richard. Let me tell you thank you in German language.
Oh, okay.
Danke schön.
Okay.
Petition.
Thank you, Sean.
Petition.
All right. And that is a way of saying thank,
Thank you.
so much in German language. We do really appreciate your time with us on this show. We really enjoy the flow of the interview.
I know, right?
me. It was fun. It was
And to all of us, we have heard the advice. Be that example you want to see. Set the example. Respect one another. Let's respect our time. Because like that first musical, our time is money. Our time is our life. Now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, Good Morning Abuja continues. Stay with us, please.